All right. Today we have a special guest with us, Jonathan Decker from Cinema Therapy and Mended Light.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on the show. And you're going to be on both of my channels as well. So we're doing some cross-pollination here.
Yeah, definitely check those out because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yep. And today we're going to be talking about conflict resolution and conflict management when you or someone you interact with is a highly sensitive person.
What was that supposed to mean?
Hey guys, real quick, it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and in honor of that, we're offering all of our courses for 35% off. If you want to take some time right now to pick up some new skills, to work through your emotions, or to supplement therapy, you can buy one of my courses using the link below for less than we usually offer it. We only run a couple of sales every year, and thousands of people have told me how these courses have benefited their lives, have improved their ability to regulate their emotions, and improve their relationships, and they really also work as a great supplement to therapy. So if you'd like to learn more, you can check out one of my courses like How to Process Emotions, How to Journal for Mental Health, Coping Skills and Self-Care. The Grounding Skills course is free as always. There's also some relationship skills courses, and I'm coming out with a new anxiety course in the summer, probably. Anyway, check out the link below for 35% off. We're just running the sale for 1 week, so now's a great time to pick up a course if you're interested. Okay, back to the video.
No, it's just an example, just a little taste, because like you, we're both HSPs.
Yeah, I'm absolutely an HSP. Absolutely. It's taken me a long time to come to terms with that a little bit. I think for a long time I felt a lot of shame about how deeply feeling I am, and even the term sensitive, I think for a lot of people is uncomfortable because sensitive can be used as like a negative term, right? Yeah, and like in our Western culture, there's like so much emphasis put on like achieving and like being goal driven and like checking things off and like accomplishing and like looking a certain way. And people who are highly sensitive might have these wonderful gifts and talents that you admire in like a friend or a partner, or I mean, even like some examples of highly sensitive people, like Albert Einstein was a highly sensitive person, and he thought about things very deeply, and he was able to empathize with people. He was able to advocate against war because he considered things very differently than maybe someone who was like the typical physics man who was like, okay, let's like check off the list and do the tasks that physics men do. I don't know what that like a closer personality who was a physicist would handle things differently than maybe an HSP as a physicist.
Well, and I'm not getting political or economical. I'm just saying, like, matter of factly, we're a capitalist society, so we value go out and bring home the bacon.
That's right.
Go get it done and contribute to society and build the economy, and on the whole, we value that, and we value HSPs until we don't. Like we value HSPs when they serve us. I mean, most people love to have someone who empathizes, who validates, who cares. They just don't like it when that person gets their feelings hurt or has a hard time with criticism or feedback.
This is something we're seeing a cultural shift on, where people are recognizing the gifts of highly sensitive people.
Yes.
Like I think they're showing that this new generation coming up, they're more anxious maybe than any generation in the past, but they're also more sensitive and more understanding because those traits are being valued, and parenting has changed a little bit, where parents are learning to be a little bit more gentle, a little bit more empathetic, like to value the emotions of their children instead of just valuing like obedience, getting it done, grades, like accomplishments, stuff like that.
I saw a meme the other day. Yes, I'm quoting a meme. I have a master's degree, but we're not going to quote anything.
Memes are important.
But it was talking, somebody commented that this upcoming generation has the lowest level of mechanical intelligence or the ability to fix things or to manage things than previous generations. And and a young person in their 20s, they commented, yeah, but I also have the emotional ability to tell my daughter I love her. So there's that.
Right? Yeah. And like that skill of like having emotional intelligence is something that is now, I think, becoming more valued.
Yeah.
And so if you are a highly sensitive person, let's talk about this for a minute. If you're a highly sensitive person, what happens when there's some conflict, right? What does that look like?
Yeah. Well, we say highly sensitive person because that's the phrase that we're using now, but that's still subjective, right? That's still a label. What's highly sensitive to one person to another is, well, you're just emotionally intelligent, right?
Yeah.
But in conflict, so let's start with if you are
Yeah.
a highly sensitive person. And then we'll go to if you're not, but you love one or you have one in your life, right?
Yeah.
If you are a highly sensitive person, you probably default to avoidance when it comes to conflict. Right?
Absolutely. You will bend over backwards to avoid conflict, right? Like even stuff that isn't even conflict, right?
Yeah.
This is a terrible personal story. I was at a book club on Saturday and I'm just joining this book club. Like it's brand new. I'm like trying to make friends. And I was like the last one to come. I was late and they had this lovely layout of food and like salad and there were no forks. And everyone else had gotten all the forks. There wasn't a fork. So I had the option of either like interrupting like these ladies mid-conversation and being like, hey, where's your forks? Or like rifling through her cabinets, just like helping myself. Like
both not great options.
Yeah. Or like just eating my salad with my hands.
Please, no, you didn't.
Initially, I absolutely was like, I'll just scoop it onto my pita bread. And like, because I wanted to avoid like interrupting or being rude.
Yeah.
And like, that's the sort of thing that like the average person would probably be just like, hey, Kelly, where's your forks?
Yes.
Right?
Or even, excuse me, where are the forks?
Yeah, right.
But you're like, I can't do that. It's just...
It's so terrible. Eventually I did.
How eventually? How long did it take you to get there?
Second bowl of salad.
After they pulled out the dessert. Then it was like a natural break. And I could like ask for a fork, right? That's terrible. That is an example of, oh gosh. How
I'm not judging. I'm deeply amused, but I'm not judging.
But like that's like such a simple example. That is not even conflict, right?
Yeah,
that is like gently disrupting someone. And so for someone who's really highly sensitive, if you think about like bringing up negative feedback, having to fire someone.
Oh my gosh.
Needing to tell someone you really care about, like that something they're doing is actually really hurting you.
Breaking up with someone.
Mm-hmm. Or like any type of conversation that you know that someone else is going to argue back or push back on. Your first tendency as an HSP, I think, maybe it's just me, is to like avoid. Like, how can I avoid this by being polite? How can I avoid this by putting their needs onto myself? How can I avoid this by eating my salad with my pita bread? Right?
Well, I think that's because HSPs value comfort, both theirs and that of other people. Like, I like to, so HSPs, healers, right? And healers and dreamers are both people focused, but a dreamer is going to be people focused externally. They like to be out in public. They like to be on stage. They like to be, whereas a healer would rather have a small gathering of friends and just take care of them. Yeah. Right. And so we value the comfort of other people. So the flip side of that is we are strongly opposed to causing discomfort or inconvenience, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, and part of that's because you feel every emotion just really intensely. Like all the highs you can feel really high and intensely, and like love and connection and comfort and gentleness and empathy, but also like any little bits of conflict or a little bit of disapproval, you'll also feel it like a 9 when it was maybe like a 2 to the other person.
That you're being flooded with arousal. When I say arousal, most people think of sex, but arousal is just any emotion that gets so strong that you stop thinking clearly. It's
nervous system activation, right? Like the fight, flight, freeze response. You get some adrenaline, some cortisol pumping, your brain shuts down a little bit and your heart beats faster.
Yeah. And when you're in that space, once again, you freeze or you run or you fight, right?
Yes.
And so for you, potentially eating the salad with the pita, that's a form of running. Like I'm running from the actual conversation about the fork. I'm just going to eat it with pita.
I'm going to avoid any potential disruption that I might overthink about later.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay.
By eating my salad with my pita.
So the first thing is, and that's the hard part, is when you're a therapist and you do conflict resolution with people, you get in your own conflicts and you know what to do, but you're so flooded and your nervous system is so set off that you're like, I know I should just ask for the fork. Yeah. It's no big deal. I would tell a client of mine, just ask for the fork. It's no big deal. And I'm sitting here freaking out. And so the first thing is to regulate that, is to breathe slow and deep, right? To slow down your heart rate, to increase blood flow and oxygen to your brain. So it helps you to calm down, not feel so triggered, not feel so flooded, and to think more clearly, right? And once you do that, the next thing is to say, okay, in the case of I'm an HSP and I'm angry or upset, I need to calm myself down and then ask myself, what am I really feeling? And because all anger, as you well know, all anger is actually something else. Anytime you're angry, you're afraid, you're hurt, you're embarrassed, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed. you're hungry, you're something. Anger is just, we step forward with that in power because it feels powerful. And closers are more likely to manifest the anger externally. HSPs are more likely to like just say, I don't feel anger, and just to hold it inside. And when you talk about how we take other people's problems on ourselves, and when you talk about all the things we do to avoid, because we still feel the anger, it comes out in the form of passive aggressiveness.
Yes, resentment, passive aggressiveness, absolutely.
Little jabs that we have deniability that we didn't mean what they thought we meant, but we absolutely did, you know.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, like you can't just, as an HSP, you can't just like avoid all conflict and hope that nothing bad happens in your life.
Right.
Like you're going to just internalize that and then it'll squirt out another.
Yes. And so with some people, like if someone cuts you off in traffic, you're not going to calm down and then go have a heart-to-heart with that person.
Right.
But when it's an actual relationship that you value, it's very important to calm down and say, okay, what am I really feeling? And then you can do something where HSPs shine, which is you try and take the perspective of the other person. That is one of the superpowers of an HSP relative to the other personality types is perspective taking, because we have such empathy. It's a mistake to say, I know what you're feeling, but you can say, if it were me, I'd be feeling X, Y, Z. Is that what's going on for you? And to express vulnerability. And something to recognize is not everybody values that.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you're going to get rejected, or sometimes people are going to mock you, or sometimes people are going to be unwilling to open up. And that doesn't mean vulnerability and honesty was the wrong track.
Yeah.
It just means, okay, with this person, they are showing me they're not safe to be vulnerable with. They're not safe to be real with. It doesn't mean I stop loving them, or even in some cases, you stop having a relationship because they're not safe. In other cases, just like, we're going to have a surface relationship. Can't go deep with this person.
Yeah, you can keep some people at arm's length.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing I think that's really important is like, yeah, calm yourself down and empathize with the other person. But that doesn't mean, empathizing with another person doesn't mean that you have to agree with them or go along with them.
Yeah.
So even if you're feeling intensely, like, oh, you feel, let's say you're boss and you're trying to fire someone or tell someone they need to even just correct their behavior. Like, if they push back on you, or you're afraid they're pushing back on you, or you're afraid to even have that conversation, that's not actually being kind. That's not actually being helpful to the situation.
Yeah.
So you've got to be able to set those boundaries, even when you can validate and empathize. So let's say you have to fire someone, and you know that's going to hurt for them, and you know it's going to hurt for you because you're sensitive, but you still have to do it. So like being firm and direct is a skill that can be learned. And I think I'm actually learning that. Even despite the fork example, like I think I am actually learning how being more direct with people is a lot more fair. Because if you aren't direct with people, then you're just going to walk around carrying resentment and bitterness. They're going to sense that. Your relationship's going to suck more, right? You can't clear what you have inside until you're honest. Yeah.
And I think I love that you use the word kind, because there's a difference between kind and nice. And I think nice is an avoidance thing. Yeah. Nice is, I don't want to upset the apple cart, ruffle any feathers. Yeah. I don't want to but kind is actually caring. I think sometimes nice is caring, but nice is also fear-based.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. Got to keep everyone calm. Got to make sure that I'm controlling other people's behaviors by me completely bending around to make sure no one else has feelings.
Yeah. You also don't give the people around you enough credit when you do that. I mean, I read this book, Real Love by Dr. Greg Bear, and he talks about, because as HSPs, we really want to be loved, right? And we want to give love. Yeah. The issue is when we don't draw boundaries, when we don't speak up or stand up for ourselves, when we're not real, we're hoping people love this pretend version of us, this nice version of us that we're putting out there. Yeah. And he talks about how crucial it is that in order to be loved, we need to be accepted. And in order to be accepted, we need to be seen. And in order to be seen, we have to tell the truth. We have to tell the truth about ourselves, what we're feeling, who we are. And that means risking rejection. But when you embrace the reality that if you are authentically you, and you are authentically honest, and there will be people who reject you, and that says everything about them and what they value and not about your worth, then you can start living in truth and finding your people. And that's what's helped me as an HSP to overcome my avoidance and my fear. Now, what if you're somebody who's not an HSP, but you're married to one, or you have one as a kid or a coworker or things like that?
And signs you might see is like, if you give them feedback, they shut down, they get super hurt, they don't interact with you anymore. There's like a huge blow up, right?
Yeah. Well, I would say in that case, Manage your activation. Manage your activation or your arousal. Same thing. If you feel yourself getting angry, if you feel your heart pounding, if you feel your fists clenching, like stop and calm down, bring it down. Because tone is everything with an HSP. You can say the exact same thing 2 different ways, and if your tone is frustrated or angry, they're going to implode with self-loathing. And then the other thing I would say is HSPs tend to, if we want advice on how to fix something, we ask for advice on how to fix something. What we really want most of the time is just to be heard and to be told that it's okay.
Yeah, because they're constantly worrying, like, am I doing a good enough job? What do they think about me? And they're constantly, as a sensitive person, you're constantly scanning your environment for signs of threat or danger or rejection.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. And so I tell there's fixers and validators, right?
Mm-hmm.
People who just want validation and people who want to fix it. And they usually marry each other. And so if I'm a fixer, you come to me with a problem. I'm like, well, here's what you're complaining to me about. So here's the solution. And then the validator's like, well, you don't think I'm smart enough to solve my own problem? I just want to be heard. And to a fixer, that's, what I tell the fixers, the non-HSPs, is it's good that you want to fix. Someone that you love is hurting, you want to make it better. That comes from a very honest, beautiful place. You're trying to fix the wrong thing. You think what you need to fix is whatever they're complaining to you about. Their awful coworker, their mother-in-law, like whatever it is. What you actually need to fix is they feel overwhelmed and alone. Mm-hmm. And if you hear them and tell them that's hard, or you don't deserve that, or I'm here for you, or I think you're wonderful, or just hold them, they're soothed, and then they can go on and solve their own problem. Right?
Yeah.
And so you want to fix it, that's fine. Just switch what you're trying to fix. Right? Don't fix what they're talking about, fix how they're feeling just by being there for them.
Yeah.
It's healing to know that if I develop in the areas where I feel weak, what it's going to lead to is me feeling more confident and me feeling more comfortable in more situations with more people. And if I'm seeking comfort ultimately, then I have to step into my discomfort in the short term.
Yeah, I think it's a skill that can be learned. Like, absolutely. Like, you can learn to be more assertive, you can learn to be more direct, and you can learn to tolerate those, like, really big emotions that come up when you're doing those tasks. Like, you can say, I'm going to have this conversation and feel anxious. I'm going to have this conversation and feel a little discomfort or fear or anger. And I value, like, being healthy. I value this relationship. I value this business deal or whatever it is enough that I'm willing to, like, learn the skill to do it.
Yeah. Another video, another time. How can HSPs tolerate other people's discomfort and negative feelings?
I've been working on that personally.
Because I'm like, you're mad at me. Oh my gosh. Like
it is really uncomfortable. Yeah.
Speaking of which, what are your thoughts on that? Like, if you're an HSP, how do you tolerate and manage other people's discomfort? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Okay. I want to go back to one other point. If you are someone married to or in a relationship with or interacting with an HSP, it's like as you're working with conflict, and you mentioned this, but it's like HSPs tend to be, not always, but tend to be like scanning and checking to see if they're doing okay, if they're performing well enough. And so sometimes if you have feedback for them, you might feel nervous or you might not feel nervous. And you might just come out really bluntly and be like, blah, 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 blah. Here's what you need to change.
Yeah.
And that, if you see your HSP getting really flooded or shut down or overwhelmed, you might want to try a different strategy, which is, I think a lot of times HSPs need a very gentle and very tiny correction, and they'll actually act really directly on that. So if someone comes to me and is like, Emma, you are like failing at everything, I'd be like, right? Like complete meltdown. Hey, Emma, like you leave your clothes on the floor. Could you please not do that? I'd be like, oh, I will take that feedback and I will worry about that feedback and I will take action on that feedback because I am very motivated to like fix this.
I heard John Gottman talk about it one time about expressing a need in a positive way.
Yeah.
I want you to be the hero of my story, and here's how you can do it. Mm-hmm. And you may not use those exact words, but it's like, if you would remember to pick up your clothes, I would feel so loved and appreciated.
Yeah, like it's important to me, right?
Yeah. Like, because, and so compare that to you never pick up after yourself, you slob.
Yes, right.
And so saying, if you would remember to pick up your clothes, it would help me to feel loved and appreciated, is such a great way to talk to an HSP, because like, well, of course I want to make you feel loved and appreciated.
Yeah.
And you're telling me what I can do to be the hero.
Yeah.
And to get all that positive energy from you for being the hero, I will happily do that, right?
Right.
Whereas if you say you never clean up, you suck, it's like, I just want to die and I hate myself.
Yeah, and it's so intense for an HSP that they will be more likely to flee, right? They'll be more likely to withdraw and to be like emotionally closed off.
Yeah.
And that's not the goal. That's not the goal that you have. So, the other thing is like when you're in that conversation with an HSP, like even though this might feel over the top, if you can do any kind of reassurance with them, like, hey, I love you, I'm staying with you, like if this is your partner, right? I love you, I'm staying with you, we're gonna solve this, I love you, we're gonna solve this, and like, can we work on this together?
Yeah.
Or if you see the situation, like the conversation going so intense and people are flooding, like you can tell they're shutting down, like, hey, we can solve this, let's come back to it when we've calmed down. Instead of like, let's just keep pushing through until we figure it out.
Yeah.
Which is gonna lead to emotional shutdown a lot of times.
Yeah. My wife's really good at that. She's like, it seems like we should probably take a break. I'm like, yes, please.
Right? Yes, I totally.
And then like 10 minutes later, she's like, I'm calm now. Are you calm? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to talk and it's better. So, yeah.
Wait. Therapists have like arguments?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Plenty of arguments all the time.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yep.
Thank you for having me. This has been awesome.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it.
And you're going to want to check out Emma is joining me on my Men Delight YouTube channel and on our Cinema Therapy YouTube channel, where she's going to join my wife and I. And then over on Cinema Therapy, where we're going to talk about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Yep.
So check out both those videos.
Yep. Make sure to check those out. Okay. Thank you so much for watching and take care.